20. Ten. 5.
Good morning and welcome to the April 21st, 2021 Board of County Commissioners meeting. I'm Kate Flavin, Public Information Officer with Sedgwick County. We're streaming this morning's meeting live on KPTS Channel 8. We're also on Sedgwick County's Facebook page and YouTube channel. And you can watch a recording of this or also live on our website, sedgwickcounty.org. Commissioners still have plexiglass barriers between them. Staff are socially distanced in the room, and we also have masks on. I'd like to remind everyone that this weekend is our waste tire collection event. So Thursday, April 22nd, businesses and governments in Sedgwick County can dispose of their waste tires at the Sedgwick County West Yard. And then Friday and Saturday, April 23rd and 24th, residents in Sedgwick County can dispose of their waste tires at the West Yard. So that address is 4701 Southwest Street. And we'll be there. We'll be open from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. on those days to dispose of those tires. It's a great service. It's free, and we hope you take advantage of it. Commissioners, on the agenda this morning, we have an island annexation for ANDALE, 2 items related to the foreign trade zone, appointments and reappointments to various advisory boards. We'll have a report from bid board, and then there's several, excuse me, I repeated myself. Chairman, let's just start the meeting.
All right, Kate, and for the public, welcome to the meeting today. I'll call the meeting to order of Wednesday, April 21st. But before we start officially, the public should know that this is Kate's last meeting. She is taking a position with one of our good aerospace customers in our community. So, Kate, you've had 9 years, I understand, of
Yep.
county service. You've really done a phenomenal job. I'll let each of them say something, but we do have we are very saddened, and because we are so saddened, we thought we'd give you some sad face emojis.
I love it.
So, we are all saddened by your departure. So if anybody wants to say something, and then we will give her a applause that needs to be. Commissioner Howell.
I'll just say, thank you, Chairman. I'll just say that you've always been encouraging. You always have a smile, and it's sometimes when things aren't looking so wonderful, you always positive attitude, and you look at things in a way that the glass is more than half full, and you're just a very encouraging person. So I've loved working with you, and I'm sad to see you go, but I'm happy for you that you have future things to look forward to. But we'll certainly miss you, and I want to say thank you for a job well done.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Kate, thank you for everything you've done over the past 4.5 years that I've been here in Sedgwick County. I've seen you grow tremendously since I have arrived. You're a stalwart supporter of Sedgwick County, and we've gone through some tough times, honestly, in the last 4.5 years that I've been here, and every step of the way we rely on communications in order to be able to make sure that the public really understands what we're doing and why we're doing it that way, and you've done a tremendous job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. And Commissioner Lopez.
Well, I haven't been here as long as everybody else, but I have definitely enjoyed our time together, and it's been fun to kind of just talk after or before the meetings, and you're always in such a good mood. And, sometimes it gets stressful up here, and just to kind of hear some of your jokes has been really helpful for me. So I will miss you, but I will repeat what Jim said and just say I'm so happy for you, and I hope you have nothing but the best in your future.
Thank you very much.
And Commissioner Cruz.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm so excited for you. I know that change is really hard, and I'm sure this was a big decision to make, but I'm proud that you were able to make it and feel confident in your decision. I know that Textron is getting a really great employee, and thank you for all that you've written for us. I know when I give you stuff last minute, it always comes back really great, so I appreciate all that you've done, and I'll miss you.
Thank you so much.
And lastly, our county manager, Tom, who's been a mentor for you. And Tom, you want to say a few words?
Thank you, Chairman, for the opportunity. We have some side issues with Kate we'll take care of later this week or early next week. But I echo and thank the commission for their comments about Kate. She was one of the first faces. I saw that when I came to Sedgwick County as the MABCD director. She was an intern at the time. And I agree with Commissioner Dennis. She has grown tremendously. Textron, or the aerospace industry, is getting a great employee. She's doing it for the right reason. She's growing. She wants to learn. She's making more money. It's all the right reasons. So we're very proud of her and wish her nothing but the best.
All right. So, Kate, we were sad, but we are happy for you, so we also have our happy faces. So,
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So, thanks again.
Appreciate it.
And Kate, I will be performing an exit interview for you.
Over a beer, hopefully, after hours.
No. Okay, so we have officially called the meeting to order of the April 21st. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Invocation to be observed by a moment of silence. Please remain standing for the flag salute.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item, please.
Roll call. Commissioner Lopez. Present. Commissioner Dennis. Present. Commissioner Howell.
Present.
Commissioner Cruz.
Present.
Chairman Meitzner.
Present. Next item, please.
Public agenda.
Commissioners, we received our emails. I believe we only had one public comment. And so any comments on that? I don't see any. Make a motion to receive and file.
Second.
There's a motion second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lopez. Aye. Commissioner Dennis.
Aye.
Commissioner Howell.
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz. Aye. Chairman Meitzner.
Aye. And I don't believe we have anybody signed up. So, right. And as a reminder to the public, we will be accepting live attendance here. Do we have a date yet? We don't know yet, for sure. In the near future.
I think we're waiting on Commissioner Dennis for vaccinations, and sir, as soon as the commission's vaccinated fully, we'll start the meetings back up.
Right. So our building, based on the courts, will still be, is still required to have face masks. And so, but here on our third floor, we will be welcoming visitors here shortly to attend live in person. So that's just another reminder. So Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Consideration of minutes. Item A, regular meeting minutes of March 24th, 2021.
Do any of the commissioners have any comments or corrections from the minutes of March 24th? I don't see any. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the minutes of March 24th. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lopez. Aye. Commissioner Dennis.
Aye.
Commissioner Howell.
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz.
Aye.
Chairman Meitzner.
Madam Clerk, next item.
New business. Item B, island annexation request by the City of Andale pursuant to City of Andale Resolution Number 121.
And for the public, we've just changed our agenda around just slightly to put new business before some of the other business in the essence of some timing of some participants. So we are into this item. Mr. Wagner, welcome to the meeting.
Thank you, Chairman. Justin Wagner, Assistant County Counselor. As the clerk noted on the agenda item, this presenting an island annexation request by the City of Andale. Refer to the screen that's in front of you, the first map. It's got the property that's proposed to be annexed in yellow cross-hatching. It's the Kanza Cooperative elevator, grain elevator that they have. It's that property, and there's some other property around it on that parcel as well. They're proposing to request the City of Andale to annex them. And in this case, it would be an island annexation. On that map, the property that's outlined in black, if you can see it on there, which designates the City of Andale's city limits. This is just outside the city. It's very close to it. And an island annexation is when the parcel that's proposed to be annexed does not actually adjoin the city limits. Here, the property narrowly avoids that. The state statutes lay out requirements under which an island annexation can occur. There's really three of them. The first is the land that's required to be in the same county as the city. Here it clearly is. The second is the owners of the property must petition or consent to the annexation. In this case, the property owner filed a petition requesting to be island annexed. And then lastly, the Board of County Commissioners, by a 2/3 vote, has to find that the annexation will not hinder and prevent the proper growth and development of the area or that of any other city within Sedgwick County. The Annandale City Council submitted this request to the county on March 24th, and we have 30 days to make the findings that I mentioned. The Planning Department, Metropolitan Area Planning Department, did their customary staff review. It's included in your backup materials. They recommend making a finding that the proposed annexation would not hinder the proper growth and development of the area, nor that of any other city within Sedgwick County. I'm going to refer you to the second map on here. This is only included to show you the next closest city to the city of Annandale, and it's Colwich, and it's about 5 miles away, I believe. So I think it was the opinion of Planning Department staff. Clearly this property was not going to impede the growth of Colwich or any other city. It's also in the urban growth area for the city of Annandale within the comprehensive plan. It's my understanding the property owners requested this island annexation in order to obtain the city's water services. Pursuant to annexation, the city would provide police services, which the sheriff's currently providing to this property. The city of Annandale's already within Sedgwick County Fire District number 1, so there would not be any change on fire services. The recommended action on this item is to make findings that the annexation will not hinder and prevent the proper growth and development of the area or that of any other city within Sedgwick County. As I noted, this would require 2/3 majority approval, so it would require 4 votes from the board to approve it. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. The city does have their legal counsel present. The property owner also has a representative here in case they wish to make any comments or answer any questions. And if you do make the recommended findings, or if you make alternative findings, there'll be a resolution prepared and distributed to you after the meeting and then sent to the city regarding whatever your findings may be. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, Justin. Does somebody from the city of Annandale want to address us? I'd be glad. Good morning. Please state your name and welcome to the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Nolan Wright. I'm a city attorney for the city of Annandale. A lot of what I'm going to say is really just going to mirror what Justin has already told you. This property is really just narrowly not adjoining the city of Annandale. If you take a look, there's a little triangle sliver, and it's not really shown on this map, but one of the maps. Yeah, so you might just barely see a little tiny black triangle where it is not uniform on the top left of that annexation or the property proposed to be annexed. That's really what's keeping it from being adjoined. As Mr. Wagner had pointed out, this property, or the property owners, has sought to be annexed by the city of Annandale in order to provide water specifically for fire suppression. I believe Mr. Wagner might have misstated exactly what was on the property. It's intended as a dry fertilizer storage. And so in the process of building this property and going through Sedgwick County Fire, requested that this property have access to a hydrant. So this whole process is really just to fulfill a requirement of the county. So I would just request that the commission make the finding required under the statute in order for this to be annexed to the city. Thank you.
Okay.
Or
thank you.
If they have any questions.
Right, I don't see any questions. Thanks for the further explanation, and welcome to our meeting. And is there somebody from the Kansas Co-op property owner here, if you'd like to say anything?
I don't really have.
Okay, all right. Okay, anybody else in the public want to address us? I don't see any, so we'll close the public hearing and take this back to the bench. There were some questions. I don't know who was first. Commissioner Howell?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, let me just say I am supportive of this, but I do have, I guess, just one question, just so I understand. Did anybody approach the property owner to the north of the, I guess, 4th Avenue that is on, it's a curve that goes around that, adjacent on the north edge of the property? There's a property across the street, and had that been annexed, this would not be considered an island annexation. Is that true? And was that conversation had by anybody?
Commissioner Howell, did the best I can to answer that. The property to the north is actually the Sedgwick County Public Works Yard, so it's owned by the county. I'm not aware of any request for that property to be annexed. Certainly, I think it could be annexed. That would also require consent of the county commission. The property that Mr. Wright pointed out, the triangular-shaped piece of property that keeps this from adjoining the city limits is also owned, the Sedgwick County is the owner of record of that parcel. But again, there's a requirement under state law that they would have had to get county permission to get that. So I mean, one way or another, that if they were gonna annex this, it'd either be an island annexation like they're doing today, or a situation where they would have had to get county commission approval otherwise.
Well, I think I've been to that county yard, but I again, didn't recollect that's what that was when I look at the map. But is there any, the other county yards that are actually, let's say the one on Webb Road here in Wichita, is that part of the city, or is that kind of like a donut?
I can't remember off the top of my head, and I'm sure Jim Weber, if he was here, would know the answer to that, but I can't remember, Commissioner Howe, I'm sorry.
Well, to me, it's interesting, but it doesn't change my vote today, so I guess I'll just continue thinking about this, but I will be supportive of the motion if there is one. Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Dennis?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate giving me the opportunity to speak on this issue. First of all, I want to thank the staff, MAPD, our attorneys here for working this issue. And I fully support the request from the City of Annandale and from the applicant. Therefore, I move that we take the recommended action. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I'll second that motion to approve. Any other comments? Being none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lopez?
Aye.
Commissioner Dennis?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz? Chairman Meitzner?
Aye.
Thank you,
Motion carries
Commissioners.
unanimously. Congratulations. Thank you, our neighboring city of Annandale, and good luck with the future. So, Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Item C, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Sedgwick County, Kansas, as grantee of Foreign Trade Zone Number 161, establishing a foreign trade zone fee schedule.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Kyle Fiedler, Economic Development Analyst with Division of Finance.
Morning.
This item before you is a proposed new fee schedule for Sedgwick County's foreign trade zone, which the Commission is the grantee of. Just a little bit of history on foreign trade zone. In 1934, the federal government enacted the Foreign Trade Zone Act, which expedited and encouraged international trade. And it also provides having foreign trade zones on U.S. soil provides basically employment opportunities to keep jobs in America instead of outsourcing them overseas. The foreign trade zones act as a foreign territory on U.S. soil, so the benefits of producing something in another country are kept here. So they get deferral on duties. So they might still have to pay a duty on the item that's in the foreign trade zone, but they can defer it, which is a cost savings for the companies. These sites are also restricted access, and they have to be near a port of entry. So we have a port of entry at the Wichita or the Eisenhower Airport. So that's the closest one to us. In 1989, Sedgwick County was granted a foreign trade zone, and it is number 161. And then in 2011, county staff at the time was approved to restructure under the alternative site framework. Essentially, all that this did differently was it makes the process to change a boundary or create a subzone, makes the process a little bit easier. Under previous, what was called traditional site framework, the process was a lot more cumbersome and a little more difficult to obtain. So the alternative site framework helps us potentially get more foreign trade zone activity going. And then later in 2011, after the alternative site framework was established, the current fee schedule that is in place was voted on and established, and we're hoping for a revision today. The federal government gives the grantee authority to establish this fee schedule. The fee schedule has to be reasonable and fair, and it's essentially operated as a public utility, and the county is able to charge this fee schedule to recover costs incurred in working on foreign trade zone activities. We view this revision as an economic development tool. So just as we would revise county policies as things change, updating this periodically helps keep us competitive in the foreign trade zone market. So if let's say Greater Wichita Partnership, who we contract with for economic development, is looking to recruit a company and they want it to be in a foreign trade zone, potentially, the fee schedule being out of date could, hinder someone coming to our county versus somewhere in another state. So what we did is we reviewed, there are 14 foreign trade zones in the states neighboring Kansas. And so we reviewed those 14 sites' fee schedules to kind of come up with our recommendation. And then overall, our goal is to establish a revenue neutral rate with the fees charged. So essentially, staff time that is incurred will be covered by the fees charged. And then we would like to spark some economic development, maybe have some production, manufacturing, manipulation jobs here in Sedgwick County or in the region, so that we can have greater employment and have a little bit more activity. So what we're proposing is adjusting and simplifying the fee schedule. Again, we reviewed 14 different sites, and we realized that our current fee schedule has fees in there for things that a lot of sites don't charge for anymore. And so we're recommending eliminating some of those fees and then adjusting the fee schedule down. Essentially, we charge $2,500 for the things that we are going to bill for. One is simplicity, just to cover, everything's $2,500. There's no scenario differently. And the fees that would be are an application fee. So when an applicant applies and the board approves it to submit, we get reimbursed or charged $2,500 for that. And then just for instance, in their application, they could have, let's say they could have 4 sites that they want to include in their foreign trade subzone, but they only want to activate one site initially. There'd be a $2,500 fee for that. And then they want to activate 2 more sites. Then there's 20. So essentially each time they go for activation, there's a fee. The activation fee is not a one-time fee, it's a per activation. And then there's also an annual fee charged, which is for sites that are active or inactive. So whether or not they have activity in their site, for us to continue administering the program to them, filing an annual report on their behalf, there's an annual fee for that. And then also, you'll notice in the backup material, there's an additional page of fees in our fee schedule, and those fees are specifically fees outlined by International Trade Administration that are paid directly to them. We don't have any say over those fees. I would ask today that you adopt the resolution and authorize staff to submit the new fee schedule to the Executive Secretary of the Foreign Trade Zones Board, and I'd stand for any questions.
Okay. Thanks, Kyle, for your explanation. I know we all were briefed as well a little more with this, but I think this is, I'm so glad that this foreign trade zone item is dusted off the shelf and active again. So I think there's a great opportunity. So this falls in the fee structure now falls more in line with, as we say, more red carpet and less red tape, so to speak, for inviting business to thrive. So thank you for the presentation. Commissioner Howe?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for the presentation. And I guess just for my understanding, if I understand correctly, and just tell me if I'm right or wrong or clarify this, this doesn't necessarily change the amount of tariff taxes being paid. It just changes when they're paid.
Correct. So the schedule of tariffs that Customs has, essentially if an item's brought into a foreign trade zone, and so I'll give you the example of a cell phone. Cell phones, and I don't know every single tariff duty, so please don't ask me every single one of them, but cell phones are duty-free. But if you bring in the components individually of a cell phone, they are, depending on what they are, could potentially each have a tariff on them. But if the cell phone is assembled in a foreign trade zone and then it goes out as a finished cell phone, it becomes duty-free. So there's ways to, depending on how it works with trade, there could potentially be a reduction in the tariff, depending on, but yes, essentially the goal is if there is a tariff, it's delayed until the end user is able to sell it or ready for it to go into market. So they can import a container and they might sell, a pallet at a time out of that container, and they only pay the tariff each time something leaves the foreign trade zone.
And of course, the tariff is not a fiscal impact to the local government. It's an impact to international trade. that's where those monies go to international trade agreements or whatever is out there.
That's correct.
Okay. So, again, I think that I agree with the chairman. I think this is great. I'm glad to see this in front of us. And as a general principle, I think our fees need to be tied to the cost of government. And if we're overcharging on fees, first of all, it discourages use of these tools. But second of all, I think it's unfair for someone to pay a higher fee to simply fund other parts of general government. And I think that there's got to be a connection between the cost of government and the level of that fee. So now, the fact that fees are going down, I think, is very encouraging, and hopefully we'll see this tool used more and more in our community. And I'm very, very happy to see this come before us this morning. I'm very supportive. I'm glad to make a motion if we're ready to do that.
Yep. I think we're ready for a motion.
Well, all right, thank you so much. Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we would adopt the resolution and authorize the chairman to sign the letter of transmittal. I'm sorry, we are on the other one. I make a motion we adopt the resolution and authorize the staff to submit the fee schedule to the Executive Secretary of the Foreign Trade Zones Board.
And I'll second that. Is there any other comments? I don't see any. So, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lopez? Aye. Commissioner Dennis?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz? Chairman Meitzner?
Thank you, Kyle. So that motion carried. Next item, please.
Item D, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Sedgwick County, Kansas, authorizing the submission of a subzone application to Foreign Trade Zone 161 and authorizing the chairman of the Board of County Commissioners of Sedgwick County to execute and submit the application to the U.S. Foreign Trade Zones Board.
Okay. Kyle, welcome back to the commission meeting.
Thank you. This item is an application for subzone designation under Foreign Trade Zone 161. A little bit about the applicant themselves. Watco Transloading LLC is a single-source transportation and supply chain services company with offices in Pittsburgh, Kansas, as well as locations throughout North America and Australia. They also have experience as a foreign trade zone operator in another state. The site that they're applying for is located at the Great Plains Industrial Park in Parsons, Kansas. And just to give you an idea, when we think of regional, our general regional plan, Parsons is a little outside of that. The foreign trade zone actually, for us, in the state of Kansas, the Port of Entry, Wichita, and our foreign trade zone are technically the only foreign trade zones serving Kansas outside of the greater Kansas City area. So any foreign trade zone application that would be within the rest of the state of Kansas potentially would come through Sedgwick County. The subzone itself that they're applying for is a total of 30 buildings, a laydown yard. And if you look at the map on your screen and the backup material that you guys have, I printed a full page map that is a little bit clearer and has a legend on it. The bigger portion of that map, there's a blue outline that is depicting the Great Plains Industrial Park boundary. And then the red boxes that you see are the 14 sites that they're included in the application. And those 14 sites represent 138 acres of the industrial park acreage. And the proposed usage for this is currently warehousing and distribution. They do not have they do not have a request for manufacturing yet, but they would like to entertain that if they had a client that wanted to manufacture on their site. And the process for an application, so the first step is coming to the commission for approval as the grantee of the foreign trade zone. The commission would approve an application. If you do approve, we will then submit it to the executive secretary of the Foreign Trade Zones Board, and the board will then review and let us know if it is approved or rejected. If it does get approved, the application or the activation process then would begin. The applicant and or what we call the operator would then apply for activation, and that process is very involved with Customs and Border Protection. Essentially, they would review the site, make sure that all security requirements are met for the commodities that are stored. Depending on what is being stored there, changes some of the security requirements just depending on whether it's big items or little items. And then Customs and Border also makes sure that the operator has their financial tracking systems and their inventory systems in line and have processes developed to make sure that it's going to be a successful foreign trade zone. Once activation is complete, we kind of step back. The operator does their day-to-day tasks. They operate the foreign trade zone, and Customs and Border supervises the site. And then they would file an annual report, and then we would use that in our annual report as well to show how much activity has been in the foreign trade zone each year. Today, we're asking that you approve the resolution, authorize the chairman to sign a letter of transmittal to the executive secretary, and then authorize staff to submit the application to the executive secretary of the Foreign Trade Zone Board. We do have representatives from Great Plains Industrial Park, WATCO, and I believe Miller and Company, which is representing WATCO and their application, on the phone if you have any questions for any of them, and I would stand for questions as well.
Okay, thank you. So is it Great Plains Industrial Park is the applicant, or WATCO?
WATCO is the applicant.
Okay.
Great Plains Industrial Park is the operator of the site, and then it's a little confusing. Great Plains Development Authority owns the property. It's operated as Great Plains Industrial Park, and then WATCO would be the actual operator of the foreign trade zone site. They have systems for the financial and inventory tracking and the experience in operating, so they have some staff that can help operate the site here and make sure it's up and running correctly.
Okay, thank you. I am familiar with WATCO. They do a great job in our region around here.
Mm-hmm.
So I will allow them to address us as well, unless Commissioner Cruz has a question.
Do they have anything they'd like to mention?
Brad or Kirk do, yeah.
Does anybody from WATCO or the Great Plains want to say anything? Please identify yourself and you address the commission. You're muted. Wait, that's a Zoom thing.
Brad, are you on the phone?
I am.
Do you have anything that you'd like to address the commission with?
Absolutely. We're very excited for this opportunity to work with a great company like WATCO. Brad Reams, Industrial Park Director here at Great Plains Industrial Park. As a Shocker grad, Hugo Wall School grad like Kyle, we always look for regional cooperation opportunities, and I've been looking for an opportunity to work with kind of my home area for a while. And so we really believe this tool of a foreign trade zone is going to allow not only us to add another chapter to the story of Great Plains Industrial Park, but also service a region well beyond even just Kansas. And the fact that general multi-tenant warehousing is a rarity in the 4 states region. And so we believe we'll be able to, as Kyle said, help out the pocketbooks of many companies that are importing goods that they need a tariff break on. And it will help, obviously, the bottom line of every American. So whether it's supporting companies in Tulsa, Kansas City, Topeka, Joplin, Springfield, or the Wichita area, we believe we have something to offer.
Okay, thank you, Brad. Appreciate your comments. It's exciting stuff. So,
And Kirk from WATCO, is there anything that you'd like to say?
Yes, thank you. We are excited as well to get this started, and we feel like with Brad's facility over there that we have a real opportunity to not only help some companies with some FTZ deferral expenses, but also grow with companies in the region. We are very grateful for the Wichita area that we operate in from a railroad perspective and a terminal perspective. As you know, our railroad goes out to the Colorado border and through Wichita and down to Tulsa. So we feel like there's a lot of opportunities with
putting this facility at Brad's location there to tie into our network, either by truck or by rail. And so, yeah, we're real excited, and we appreciate you giving us this opportunity.
Okay, thanks, Kirk. Just a question for me. Do you guys still operate that Wichita State Shocker train?
We do. We're very proud of that.
I know.
Yeah, we sure do.
I know it catches some eyes as it goes through various communities, so that's good. Thank you for doing that.
You bet.
Okay, Commissioner Cruz.
Thank you, Chairman. Brad and Kirk, I'm excited to see you, listen to you today. I am from Parsons, Kansas. I was born and raised there, so when I heard that this was happening down in Labette County, it was kind of exciting news. You know, it's when I left there, it seemed like Parsons was having a little struggle with the Highway 400 kind of cutting through the city. So I'm excited that this will maybe bring some investments, bring some excitement down to Labette County. And this is actually kind of right by where I used to live. So it was nice to see that this is on today, and I'm supportive of this. I'd like to make a motion when, okay, so I will make a motion that we adopt this resolution.
Okay. I'll second that. Is there any other comments? And I don't see any comments, so Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lopez?
Aye.
Commissioner Dennis?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz? Aye. Chairman Meitzner?
Aye, the motion carries. So Brad and Kirk, congratulations and good luck from our perspective, and can't wait to see the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Item E, report of the Boards of Bids and Contracts regular meeting on April 15th, 2021.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Early again. I'm kind of getting used to this.
Wow.
Joe Thomas, Purchasing Director. The regular meeting of the Board of Bids and Contracts on April 15th. We have one item that we're seeking your approval for. This item is the point-to-point circuit for Division of Information Technology, and the recommendation is to accept the quote from Cox Communications Kansas LLC and Cox Kansas Telecom LLC. This is at the rates listed for a period of 36 months and will result in a total dollar amount of $61,200. I'll be happy to try to answer any questions you may have and recommend approval.
Okay, is there any questions for Joe on this item? And I do not see any, so I'll make a motion that we approve the item as presented by Joe. Second. Motion and a second. No other comments. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lopez?
Aye.
Commissioner Dennis?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz?
Aye.
Chairman Meitzner?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too.
Madam Clerk, next item.
Appointments. Item F, resolution appointing Joanna Kilgore to the Sedgwick County Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Advisory Board.
Mr. Papoon.
Mr. Chairman, County Commissioners, Mike Papoon, County Councilor. Item F is the appointment of Joanna Kilgore, Chairman Meitzner's appointment to the Sedgwick County Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Advisory Board. This board is a 15-member board, and each of you have 3 appointments. This is the chairman's appointment, and we prepared a resolution. It's in proper form, and ask that you approve the resolution.
Okay. Thank you, and I appreciate Joanna Kilgore applying for this and wanting to serve on this board, so I'll make a motion to approve her to this board. This motion in a second. I don't see any other comments. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Lopez?
Aye.
Commissioner Dennis?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz?
Aye.
Chairman Meitzner?
Aye. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Item G, a resolution reappointing Reverend Dave Fulton to the Sedgwick County Mental Health Advisory Board.
Okay, Mr. Papoon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We can, if it's the Commission's will, take items G, H, and I together. All 3 of these items are Commissioner Dennis's reappointments to the Mental Health Advisory Board. Again, a board with 15 members. Each of you have 3 appointments. Commissioner Dennis is recommending the appointments. Item G, Reverend Dave Fulton. And item H, reappointing Neil Guthrie. And item I, reappointing John Ryan. The resolutions have been prepared for all 3 of these individuals, and we'd ask that you approve the resolutions.
Okay. Commissioner Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. Reverend Fulton, Neil Guthrie, and John Ryan have served faithfully and very dedicatedly to the Sedgwick County Mental Health Advisory Board, and I would like to have them continue in that position, and I recommend approval of each of these 3 appointments.
I'll second that. I don't see any other questions. There's a motion and a second to approve these. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lopez?
Aye.
Commissioner Dennis?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz?
Aye.
Chairman Meitzner.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item J, resolution appointing Janet Federico to the Sedgwick County 3rd District Citizens Advisory Board.
Hey, Mr. Papoon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is another appointment by Commissioner Dennis for his Citizens Advisory Board. He's recommending the appointment of Ms. Federico. We prepared a resolution doing the same, and we'd ask that you approve the resolution.
Okay. Commissioner Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As everyone recalls, at our last meeting, I had an individual that needed to resign, so I had an opening on the board. I did receive several applications, and I did talk to Janet Federico directly and reviewed all of the other applications. And I believe that Janet will make an outstanding representative to my Citizens Advisory Board. I move that we approve the recommendation.
Motion and a second to approve the recommendation. I don't see other comments. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lopez?
Aye.
Commissioner Dennis?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz?
Aye.
Chairman Meitzner.
Aye. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Item K, resolution appointing Commissioner Sarah Lopez to the Wichita Area Metropolitan Planning Organization.
Mr. Papoon.
Mr. Chairman, we have prepared a resolution to appoint Commissioner Sarah Lopez as a member of the Wichita Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, otherwise known as WAMPO. The resolution's in proper form, and ask you appoint or approve the resolution.
Okay. Commissioner Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. WAMPO is a very important committee that we have here in Sedgwick County because it directs a lot of the transportation projects that we have coming down in the future. And if you remember our old Director of Public Works said transportation is the mother's milk of economic development. So I sincerely appreciate the fact that Commissioner Lopez is interested in serving on this. We have 4 members that serve on the commission, on the WAMPO, Commissioner Meitzner, Commissioner Howell, myself, and we certainly want to welcome Commissioner Lopez as the newest addition to WAMPO. And therefore, I move that we approve Commissioner Sarah Lopez appointment to Wichita Area Metropolitan Area Planning Organization. Thank you,
Second.
Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion and a second. And before we call the roll, I'd just like to thank Kelly Arnold for serving on that. He's served before. He's kind of our bullpen reliever whenever we need somebody to serve or fill in if one of us is absent. So Kelly, if you're watching, thank you for your continued service and appreciate you allowing us to put Commissioner Lopez on this board in your place. So thank you. No other comments. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lopez?
Aye.
Commissioner Dennis?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz?
Aye.
Chairman Meitzner.
Aye. So Sarah, you voted for yourself.
I
so
did vote for myself.
You okay? All
I
right.
guess
You
that
might
means
you might regret that after a couple of meetings. No. Okay. So Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Consent agenda.
Morning,
Tom.
good morning again, Chairman and Commissioners. Tom Stolzfus, County Manager's Office, recommending approval of consent items L through W this morning.
Okay. Commissioners, we have consent items L through W. Is there any item that wants to, Commissioner Howell? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I don't really have any questions. I just wanted to highlight, there's some stuff in here that is, I think that the public would like to know. One of the things that's in here is a renewal of our agreement with Wichita regarding our funding to Project Access. Last year, actually maybe it was before last year now, I forget exactly when this happened, but Commissioner Cruz and I were able to jump off of a building in support of Project Access. It was a lot of fun, by the way.
We rappelled off
Well,
the
we did.
building. We didn't jump.
She was going to push me, but she actually did not. But anyway, it was fun, and I really appreciate Project Access. And again, I just want to highlight this program. They do accept donations from the public, and for folks that have money, they'd like to help out people who are needing some help. This is a great place to send some of your money if you want to do that. Anyway, we've been a long-term supporter of Project Access in the county, and are going to continue to do that. I have no doubt. But I want to highlight this because normally I think this would be on a regular agenda, but today it's on consent. So I just want to highlight that one thing. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, thanks for pointing that out, Commissioner Houth, because you're right, that is a great organization. Any other comments? I don't see any, so there'd been a motion, and I think there was a second. Or I'll make a motion to approve the consent items.
Second.
And there's a second now. So motion and a second to approve the consent items. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lopez.
Aye.
Commissioner Dennis.
Aye.
Commissioner Howell.
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz. Chairman Meitzner.
Aye. Motion carries. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Legislative issues.
Hey, good morning,
Hello,
Chairman.
Keem.
Commissioners, Keem Ashford, Communications Director. Don't have a update for you from the state platform. However, talking to the manager yesterday, I think we're going to have a federal platform overview for you on May 5th. So I'll have that for you.
Okay. All right. Is there any other, any questions for Hakeem? I know they are on a break right now, and they'll be getting back. Commissioner Dennis?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One thing came up when I was having a discussion with Commissioner Lopez the other day was early on, we were talking about seeing if we could get some relief for social workers, psychologists, psychiatrists, and so forth, that if they go to work out in western Kansas, some of their college fees and so forth can be forgiven. And I know we talked about it early on, I just don't know where it went. And so was there a bill that was working, trying to get the social workers, psychiatrists, psychologists in Sedgwick County to get some of those fees reduced if they work in this area?
Not that I'm tracking. I don't know if Mike.
When we had the discussion, I don't know if any at the state level, I had gotten a hold of Jim Davenport, who is our federal lobbyist, and asked him what the federal government was doing, and he had sent some data. Let me refresh that from him and send it to all of you. I know he looked into it and gave us some reply back, but that's been some time ago, so let me refresh that.
Okay, I just didn't know where that went, and we talked about it, and it came up again in a discussion, and it's important to us because we need to be able to fill these positions, and if folks can go out into western Sedgwick County, or not Sedgwick County, western Kansas, and get it forgiven, we'd certainly like to have that same opportunity here, because if we can get them here, we can keep them here, and that would help us with staffing, so I'd like to know where that's at some point. Thank you.
Okay.
I know Elizabeth Bishop was trying to champion that at the state level, and so we might chat with Representative Bishop and see I know that she's been working on that.
Okay. Thanks for bringing that up. And Commissioner Cruz, did you have something?
That was it.
Okay. Thank you. So keep us informed, Hakeem. Appreciate the update. Okay. Next item, please.
Committee reports.
Does anybody have anything to report on their committees they represent or the boards? Please allow me to share that we had a Visit Wichita board meeting this morning, and I'd just like to share that there's a real enthusiasm coming out of COVID, that there's Exploration Place has got some exciting stuff going on. The zoo right around the corner has got some stuff going on that they're excited about. Everybody's got, and then events are coming back, and sporting events out at external events out at Stryker. So they're just, it was a whole meeting of, you could just feel the pent-up frustration, or excitement, not frustration, the pent-up from the results of the last year. So let's hope that this year will take another leap forward, and we'll get back to regular stuff. And of course, the baseball park opens May 11th with the wind surge, so a lot of good stuff going on is what I just wanted to share with you from my board meeting at Visit Wichita. Anybody else want to share anything? Okay, not at this point. I'd also like to announce that our clerk, Stephanie Farmer, this is her last meeting. She's not leaving the county, though. She's still going to be part of our county team. So Stephanie, you've done a wonderful job, and you had a tough year. We had a lot of long meetings, and you were always on call, we had a lot of special meetings, and we had a lot of executive sessions. So you were in and out, and you were a real part of the team. So I'm just as sad as I was earlier, so I will give you my sad face officially. And there's some other sad faces, so thank you. And anybody else want to make any comments, Stephanie? Okay. So, thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate it. All right, next item, please.
Other.
Does anybody else have anything other? Commissioner Cruz?
Thank you, Mr. Howell, for mentioning the Over the Edge last year or the year before, because ICT SOS is also doing that this year. So if anybody, I will be rappelling off the building yet again. So if you guys want to join in the effort, it will be happening September 24th through the 25th. And that's to raise awareness for human trafficking. So if you want to join me, raise $1,000 and you can rappel alongside. So thank you. The Ambassador Hotel. It's only slightly scary.
Human trafficking over the rappel of the building.
I think I'm going to take my time this time. Last time I was like, I just got to get my feet on the ground, but I think I might
enjoy the scenery.
Yeah. Shelley Pritchard was, she was kicking off the building. I'm hoping to be fancy like her this time.
Okay. Well, that's because you're a pure athlete on it. So. Okay. Anybody else have anything other? I don't hear any. So we do not have executive session today. And so, again, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And we do not have a meeting next week. So our next meeting will be May 5th. So everybody have a safe weekend, a safe time, and thanks for tuning in. We will stand adjourned.